I am too old for toys, and this is my continuing review of the high-grade 1 in 1/44 scale 00 Gundam. Getting the size comparisons out of the way, yes, he's slightly taller than a tin of pop. Let's see what he can do with his articulation. Starting with his feet, they can tip downwards this far. There is a small articulated piece of armor just above the foot that opens up like this, so you can move his foot forward by this much. You can rotate his feet laterally left and right quite unhindered. The ankle has a joint that can let you position his feet like this, which I think is rather exceptional for a high-grade kit. Moving onwards and upwards, there are 2 points of articulation at the knee, which allows us to attain this rather spectacular parallel bend, another rare feature for a kit in this grade and scale. The leg is able to lock straight and can move back to this point, with some obstruction due to the static arse armor, and can move forward to this point with very little obstruction from the articulated armor plate at the front. The leg can move sideways up to this point, again very little obstruction from the armor plate at the side. At the top of his thigh there is a joint for rotating his leg like this. Let you take a look at the pivoting crotch joint that connects the legs to the body. The panty armor at the front here and the armor plates to the sides are attached via ball and socket, which is quite typical for a master grade, but correct me if I'm wrong. It's an unusual bonus for a high grade 1 in 1/44 scale. The torso consists of 2 ball joints that allow for twisting at the waist, both left and right to your heart's content, and also a fair degree of lean both forwards and backwards. The shoulder guard is connected to the upper torso by a ball and pivoting polycap arrangement. As per usual, the arm can rotate up and down as much as you could want. In conjunction with the jointed shoulder guard, he can move his arm outwards quite some way. There is a rotating joint just below the shoulder. We have 2 points of articulation at the elbow. Now at the wrist, where the blue meets the white here, there is another joint which allows for a little bit more articulation. The hand is jointed at the wrist via a ball and socket affair for rotation and a bit more bend, but still not quite enough to let him touch his shoulder. Now you can straighten out the arm, but you'll find if you push a little bit further you get this rather disturbing dislocation effect, and this freaks me out. I really don't like this type of reverse articulation. Onto his head, it turns left and right, nods up and down, and he's also able to achieve a fair degree of the chicken head movement. That's very important, that. I'm going to just pop his twin GN drives into his backpack. You'll notice that there is a mysterious socket in the backpack which would presumably be for compatibility with future accessories. A joint at the top of the mount allows for rotation of the entire drive to the front for reverse thrust, and round to the back for full speed ahead. Another joint here allows for tilting of the drive up and down, and also for their rotation. Not bad. And on to his accessories. He has 2 of these GN swords. Just tip the blue part down, split the handle to form the stock and the hand grip. Et voilà, messieurs et mesdames, a beam rifle. Thankfully, he's able to hold these in his open fists without the need to take the backs off his hands. He has 2 of these open-fisted hands, so it will not be a problem for him to hold any 2 of his weapons at the same time. There is a peg here to allow you to stow them on the sides of his armor. And finally, he has 2 beam saber handles, for which there are no beams included. Anyway, these fellas stow firmly in the arse armor round the back here. I didn't put any of the silver foil stickers on him yet, just to let you see the kit as it is, raw, straight out of the box, before I started any work on him whatsoever. The molded detailing is fine for a high grade, not too many panel lines. The colors right out of the box are sound. Yes, in terms of materials, he's a good mix of polyurethane caps, ABS, multicolored and colorless clear polystyrene components. During the build, some of the parts are very small and fiddly. Although I like the way they've been used, clear colorless plastic parts are quite brittle, hence prone to cracking or frosting over if you mishandle them. And some parts are minuscule. A couple of times I thought I'd thrown away the little gem that caps the antenna here. These clear parts may pose an additional quandary, since the gem is supposed to be a clear red color and the beam rifles have parts which are meant to be clear blue. I happen to already have these colors in my repertoire, but if you were to go out and buy them specifically for this, I'm not so sure that you would need very much of it, and I don't think you would need it very often. The silver foil yellow antenna stickers look a complete nightmare to apply, and I just know that right afterwards they will just unravel themselves and fall off, so why bother? The circular ones are fine though, and so is the outer leg stripe. I often select kits based on their technical advancement rather than my particular liking of the actual character itself. On the whole, I get perfect grades and master grades because I'm into the inner details under the bonnet. Only occasionally do I let loose on a high grade. So why'd I go get this particular item? Well, it introduced some significant advancements for a 1 in 1/44 scale high grade in the departments of articulation for the ankle, the knee, the hip, the waist, and to a lesser extent the arms. The figure's overall slim, compact design is a great help for this figure's posability. By trimming down on the front, side, and rear armor, they avoided some of the pitfalls where the more traditional designs had hindered freedom of movement for the legs. Ah, the legs. The legs alone provide a sizable leap forward from its predecessors, if you pardon the pun. I don't think there's been any kit, regardless of the grade, that can do what this chap can do with his ankles. It allows for some very dynamic stances, and I like it. Yes, for me, the combination of joints in the ankle alone make him worth a look. A welcome new addition is the use of light piping for the eyes. The source comes in through a window at the back of the head and shines through the front of the eyes. Now I've checked and it really isn't light coming in through one eye and shining out the other. It really is coming in through the back of the head. There is still room for improvement though. The feet could have at least some articulation, and the arms could go a little bit further to just get that parallel bend in there. They also could have thrown in a shield of some kind, and for them to be missing the clear colored beams. But I'm just nitpicking here. At the time this video was made, for what you do get in the box, this is as good as it gets for a high-grade 1 in 1/44 scale kit. Can I recommend this kit? Yeah, it rocks.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?